And here we are, bolting down a runway in San Francisco, and start our best climb here on this Learjet. Well, it's looking good.
86 Sierra Alpha is type 3 miles northwest of San Francisco.
Loading in KSFO.
Request clearance to transition Bravo
I can see on Auto on flow that the runway that I've loaded up the airport. Let's see the optional approaches. The moment I've got myself climbing at the best speed that I can. You'll see that it is 250 over here. That's my best climb speed. And already from sea level I'm up to flight level 8. So 8500, climbing like a rocket. This is a really nice aeroplane. Let's see where it is. Let's look outside and see where we are. Oh, there we are, already at almost 12,000 feet, climbing up like a rocket. And let's activate the auto land. Now we're going to choose the best one for us. Let's land runway 01, which has a good wind factor. As soon as I press it, it should activate a turn. Let's go. I've just pressed it, and it's already standardizing. It's going into a turn, and let's just slow ourselves down. What I'm also going to do is I'm also going to get the system to toggle the auto thrust. It's suggested an approach landing of 152, as you can see over here, and it will slow down the aeroplane, taking us into a nice approach for runway 01. Let's just help it slow down things. I'm going to put up about 33% of flaps. Also going to activate a spoiler. That is slowing us down substantially. You can see our speed coming down here. This is an auto thrust device that I've created to be able to set the speeds up with our auto lander. This is custom, and all the others are custom as well, including these over here, which you might recognize but with some extra numbers. We are descending at quite a great pace at about 2,500 feet from that altitude. We're at 10,000 feet and going down. We've straightened out. Over here we can tell that we are 9.5 nautical miles away from the first waypoint that will get us into a nice arc for the runway we are heading to, which is runway 01, and it's descending. You can see in the middle of the block there, distance D is 8.2 nautical miles, direction 103. It's heading us nicely. Let's go inside the cockpit and have a look. We've got some warning thing going on. I don't even know what this aeroplane's about, and I don't even know what that is. I think it's telling me about the spoilers. There's San Francisco on my left over there as we get down to the auto speed system, which is hanging out there at 152. This is a hell of a machine. I don't even know if this Lear's going to land properly, but we'll give it a try. I've kind of figured out that this can land virtually anything. It would be good if it had an autopilot, and if not, all you have to do is follow the blue tag at the top which will guide it onto the runway. You just have to follow that. So if the blue thing is over there and we don't have an autopilot, and you're in a small aeroplane or an acrobatic aeroplane or a helicopter, just follow that blue little line over there. Let's see what we got here. We're already at waypoint position 7 with 4 nautical miles to run. We are coming in nicely according to the speed over here. Let's give it a little bit more assistance. We've really almost cut off all the power here. So I'm going to just put up some more flaps so I can get those engines working a little bit. There we go. We've got a little bit more. I'm even going to give it 100%. That's a little bit too much. Let's drop it to about 67. See the San Francisco runway on the left hand side. We're coming up to waypoint 7, at which point we probably going to be turning. We're 1.5 nautical miles from that point, and it should line us up for a nice approach over here. Let's have a look at a couple of things going on here. We have selected one of the runway approaches and used the one that is suggested. We can also stop our descent, especially if you're in a mountainous area. If I click that, it will just hold the aeroplane up there. You can see the nose tipping up. But remember to switch it back on, otherwise we're going to stay at that altitude. As soon as we continue descent, it will do the calculations. Oh, and the auto speed calculator is giving us a little bit of extra thrust. I'm going to continue descent. There are a few mountains here. The plane is automatically going into a turn. I'm now continuing descent because there are mountains that are falling away from us, and it is lining us up. We lower down here, we can tell what the best landing speed is. It's about 130. We're getting our nose nicely aligned for runway 01, which is right below us, and it's already set us up for 130 and starting to decrease our speed. I'm going to get our gear down, and I'm also going to activate 100% flap. Let's have a look at the plane from the outside. It's looking good, and it's all nicely lined up with the runway over here. Let's see how this works. So there's not much for the user to do. It just really helps us. I can't remember which runway are we going for. The left one, 01 left, and you can see it is aligned for runway 01 left. We've still got our spoilers on, but that's fine. It will just keep our thrusters going nicely. Sadly for you guys on this video, my speed, my frames are not great, but this works brilliantly. I've tested it out on my other computer. We might need to do a little bit of an adjustment. Maybe the coordinates are not perfect. There we go, going straight onto the runway at the right speed, at the right descent, and lifting the nose just a tad to help it. And we're above this runway. Wow, okay, that was a bit of a tough landing at 400 feet per second, but definitely not something that's going to break the aeroplane. And there we are. Well, that is with the Learjet. Simply pressing the best climb will reset it for takeoff. Just need to release the brakes and off it goes again. So from that, we'll have a look at some other planes. We'll try a 747 maybe. We'll look at landing in difficult areas like the mountains of Papua New Guinea. There we go. In this best climb mode, the system will automatically decide on what how to climb this aeroplane at our best speed. We can also just turn it around and just choose another one, even from low. So I'm doing that right now just so you can see the aeroplane starting to go into an approach for runway 19 right, which is right behind us. And if we are too close to the airport, all it will do is it will put us on a wider path. That's all. It's just doing some really nice turns to get us into a nice arc in the sky. We don't need those the gear right now, so let's pull it in. I just selected full stall over there. It selected our air brakes. We are slowing down as much as we can. We don't have to slow down all the way like that. We're approaching waypoint 8 and seeing an approach for runway 19 left. 19 left. Remember last time we came in on 01 left? Now we're coming in the opposite way. Let's see how that works out for us. And it's at this time that we probably should be putting down our gear. Waypoint 5 is still a few miles out, but we can do it. It will set us up nicely for this. We can slow down a little bit on the auto thruster. I'm just turning the numbers down. Automatically slowing down. You can see the air brakes and everything working really nicely. We're at half a mile from waypoint 5. We're now at waypoint 3. We're turning in for final approach to waypoint 3. Let's see where that is. But this might be way too close, so yeah. It is a little bit close, but we might be able to make it. It's a little bit of a major turn, but we'll see how it goes. I'm not touching anything, by the way. This is all done by the calculations in the Autolander. We're slightly off to the left. Let's see if she realigns herself. We are making our way to waypoint 2 next, and from waypoint 2 it should straighten us up for waypoint 1 and waypoint 0. We're almost at waypoint 2, and there we go to point towards waypoint 1. You can see it's nicely aligning. Oh man, this is beautiful, just exactly what you can expect. And this is a lovely aeroplane, hey? It's already set the speed down to 130. Now finally for the final approach to the base of the runway, runway 0, as it descends nice and slow. We're going down at about 600-500 feet per minute. And nice gentle entry to runways 19 left. We're almost on the tarmac. Lovely threshold over there. Let's just have a look from the outside. Oh man, so soft. It felt soft, but that was at 300 feet per minute. And it's not bad, and the nose has eventually touched down, so nice gentle landing.
And from landing the Citation, we take ourselves to Papua New Guinea into the caravan and look at something I did yesterday. Landing on these fields is normally hazardous in between trees. Sometimes extreme runways with inclines of up to 12 degrees or more. You can see how absolutely gentle that was. That's using the Autolander. Let's have a look at another approach. Another scripted software is to really slow down the way that we look at the aeroplane so we can get nice close-ups of the aeroplane as it comes into the approach. Now, you might not be able to see it, but that little green patch in the middle is where we want to land. Coming in close and gentle onto such runways, especially in bad weather, is really a challenge of note. Coming down nice and softly towards the runway at slow speed, getting the angle exactly right, especially in bad weather. This could be unbelievable, and it is normally. Good landing on a very, very short runway, and we even stopped halfway in. Okay, moving to another aeroplane. The 747, the jumbo of the sky, the iconic aeroplane, very heavy to land. We have now selected a runway approach, as you can see on the right hand side, for Gatwick, and we're starting to make our approach over here. This is something also that I did yesterday, or was it late last night. Normal natural weather, as we turn it in, just like normal, we expected the Autolander just to take control. There are a couple of glitches with the 747, for example, the speed control and so on. That might need to be handled manually for the approach, but we can see on the right hand side there on the green wheel what speeds the system is projecting and expecting for the best approach landing and the landing speed. So as long as you can keep more or less to that, the airplane will turn and drop really nicely. Be careful of when you of how much gear to use and how much flaps to use. That isn't going to be automated, so you just need to use that. So for the approach of this one, you can get a sense of how quickly you're supposed to come in, also how the controls work, like the speed brakes, etc., how it slows the aeroplane down. The auto thruster will attempt to help you, but sometimes on this, I don't know why, it just doesn't work that well. Have a look at this lovely landing as we're coming in on Gatwick, at Gatwick. We're about to touch down. The back wheel's just touched down now. The nose wheel's still in the sky as we bring it slightly gently down to the ground. And it's not we, just by the way. The auto thruster will actually guide that speed. Here we are about to turn off the runway. I've just sped up this so that it's not too boring, and we'll turn off the runway. Let's have a look at maybe another approach. Let's see what we got here. This was done at about the same time. Now from a slightly different location. Here's another thing. The Autolander will automatically project which side to come in. Is it going to be left turns all the way? What kind of circuit are we going to do? And it will do the turn arc accordingly. Let's have a look at this landing over here. It's all ready and set to come down. It is lovely approach. Wow, very nice. I'm looking at it from the outside. Very nice. And the nose still taking a little bit of time. Okay, so we're not in the center of the runway. Well, that is something you can adjust as you come in for your landing. The whole thing is to make the approach and to make the landing easier. Now, what's interesting about this is that there is no reason why software like this could not actually take over an aeroplane's systems. To connect it up is all the same. One would need to just put that in. Notice here we're not using an ILS. There's no ILS. We've got no localizer. It could be for any runway. And all we need to know is the direction of the runway, the elevation of the runway base, and the system will adjust a nice 3-degree approach, nice arc approach. Imagine if you had to employ something like this into all aeroplanes, how much safer aeroplanes would be. And with the help of Flight Simulator, we get a sense that it could really work. Anyway, that's a conversation for another day on how to use software like this. That was a lovely landing. Let's see what else we have here. Now I think this is the Duke. Yes, it is indeed. The Turbine Duke. We're turning, we've selected an approach. I think this is for also Gatwick. Look at the little map over there. You can see our approach. This from the outside. We've already selected the runway. It's making its turn towards that runway and its descent. It doesn't matter how high it is, it will make it appropriately, and all landings are possible. This just makes the flight sim so much more exciting. And this is not taking away necessarily the whole experience of flying one bit, because you can switch it off at any time. And also, this is not just doing something to override all the software controls, it's using them to a much better extent. Using software, using computers to make safer landings is the way things need to go. We haven't achieved perfect landings in terrible weather. Also, one could use software like this to guide anything in, even without autopilots. As long as you follow the blue tag on the, look at that soft landing. Oh my word! Look at the top left. Let's have a look at another one from the other side. I was saying, in bad weather, helicopters can just follow the blue tag on your DI, your directional instrument, and you just follow it in, and it will take you on an approach for any runway. The tower, anyway, in real life is going to give you an approach towards a runway, so one could use that even in IFR conditions, etc. Anyway, I think I've shown you more or less how much fun I'm having with that Autolander software. It's done with JavaScript. Inside the Flow program, which is really neat and nice, and having just a little wheel over there is helpful. But when linking it all together, it's so easy and so nice. And that's for any airport that the sim can pick up, All you have to do is type in the ICAO and off you go. A couple of presses and you can land anywhere pretty much. Well, that's it from me. It's Rob or Rockowe. Hope you enjoyed that.